And we've made it to Lian Li. Let's go check out what they have for the new cases, the new PCO Air, and the standing sit desk. But first, huge thanks to Fantex, Thermaltake, and Cooler Master for making our Computex trip possible. What's up, guys? I'm Dimitri with Howard Canucks, and we are here at Lian Li. So we first saw this case back at CES. They were showing off this front panel design, a little prototype. Get your feedback to see if it was any good. And yeah, now we have the final product. This is the Lancool One. So Lancool used to be a separate brand. Now it's part of Lian Li, which is why you'll see a Lian Li logo on the power supply shroud. We first initially thought, what the hell, Lancool is like a separate thing. But no, it is now just the Lancool series, part of Lian Li. So here, going very minimalist design, focus on airflow because of this like really open front section, ventilation on both sides, and it's kind of just minimalist approach. They're trying to enter that whole standardized case market, and I think they have some really good features that work well for this price point. So there'll be two models available, the $89 and the $99. The more expensive one, you get a Type-C port and addressable RGB for the front, whereas with the standard $89 model, there is no Type-C and the standard RGB at the front. So I am spending a lot of time on the front panel because that's kind of the highlight of the case. It's got an aluminum facade. We have RGB lighting built in that looks beautiful. It's ambient. It's not harsh. There's this very large diffusion element interior, so it kind of spills in the middle. It lights up the fans. I love this approach. Built-in case lighting, you can change the LEDs, color and mode with a little button on the I/O, which by the way, there are also two USB 3 ports and your audio jacks. For 89 bucks, we get a tempered glass side panel. It has captive thumb screws. The panel slides back out. So it's got the similar approach as with the O11 Dynamic, where it has little clips inside the panel so they slide into the frame, so the panel is not going anywhere. I do appreciate the mounting mechanism on the rear side panel that allows you to compress the cables, which is awesome, so you don't have to fiddle around with sliding the panel in. That is awesome. The top panel is removable. It is kind of like a coarse dust filter. The actual fan mounting location is pretty diverse. You can do 3 120mm fans, but not really recommended for a 360 rad up here, up to 280 maximum for radiator. The front, however, can support a 360 rad, no problem. We have a removable power supply shroud piece at the front, so you can fit all your additional fans there. So coming inside, a few things you'll notice. It's very minimal. We have eATX motherboard support, so it will reach exactly where the rubber grommet stops. So that's awesome. You don't need additional cutouts for that. We have two SSD caddies on top of the power supply shroud, so you can install extra drives there, or you can simply remove those brackets, and we have this additional area for fans. So you can do two 120mm fans that will deliver fresh air for the GPU, a little extra cooling, something we haven't seen from any other case manufacturer. Here we have two fans per case, two vertical GPU brackets, kind of the standard deal. Power supply shroud is non-removable. And here at the back, we have the little controller into which you plug in the LED switch, so you can actually cycle between colors. The default cable management is already pre-routed, but I would suggest for them to install a second row of these Velcro straps, so you can route that on a separate layer and route all your thicker cables where the cable grommets are located. Finally, the hard drive cage is removable. It has two slots, no caddies here. You just simply insert your hard drive in there, and it has a little bit of flexibility on maneuverability, so you can move it away from the front panel for that additional clearance. So there is a power supply dust filter, top dust filter, front dust filter. Everything is filtered. Good stuff. So the Lancool One is an exciting product from Lian Li. They're entering the mass market with these type of enclosures. Not exactly their aluminum strive as we've come to know them, but of course we have a little bit of that aluminum facade at the front. The addressable or standard RGB is awesome. Very basic interior. I don't see any glaring flaws, but obviously you get to know the case once you build in it, so make sure to subscribe to see my review when this thing gets to me. Good people, so this is the Lian Li PC011 Air. So I personally have the Dynamic. You guys can check out the review here. I absolutely love that case. And we finally get to see the finished version of the Air. So this is, the price points are very attractive. $129, just as much as the Dynamic. But here it is obviously airflow focused. will come with two 120mm fans at the front for that 129 version, but the slightly higher version at 149 will come with 5 fans in total, 3 RGB and 2 standard at the front. The 3 RGB fans are like, you know, standalone, so you can populate them anywhere you want. And you can check out our video about the 9 fan installation to get an idea of where to install the fans. But the cool thing about this one, airflow focused, all dust filtration. I really like this kind of like stealth design, clean lines. It kind of reminds me something of like, I don't know, like a Batman case, because of the top has that slight angle. The front also comes out there. And the only difference between this one is the rear, because now we can install two 80mm fans at the back to help with that additional frontal airflow. But obviously you probably won't need it if you populate all other fan slots. Yeah, so the Lian Li PC011 Air is going to be out. When is it out? So it's going to be out end of June, so make sure to stay tuned for our full review. So people, this is the Razor Edition Lian Li PC011 Dynamic. It's been modified, so there is an actual LED RGB strip over here, but because of the glass, it turns RGB glass. It turns glass into RGB. What? That's just crazy. All right, people, so this is Lian Li's standing desk computer build, so you can put your components inside. Yeah, so this is actually quite popular, and what they've done here is try to make it a little bit more accessible. And I'm raising this so you guys can see how high this thing can go. I think it's over 4 feet, so it's a perfect sit-stand desk, plus you can put your computer inside. So the thing with this one, it's going to be a lot more affordable than the previous DK4 desk. So this is $1,000. While it may seem quite expensive, the DK4 was $1,500, so definitely that $500 shaved is a definitely good deal. Try to get more market share within this type of product. So here we have this gigantic glass panel. It can accommodate an EATX system. The motherboard tray is removable. You can install up to a 420mm radiator and a 240 rad as well. Plenty of space in the power supply area. So obviously you're not going to be utilizing most of it, but you can potentially like remove the glass, like stash little things in there, you know, customize it, make it your own, and obviously have this like full visual presentation of your hardware, of your hard work for water cooling, and it's obviously mechanized, so it's kind of a really good all-in-one deal if you are potentially looking for sit-stand desk into which you can populate your PC. Now the thing is, the glass is not attached to anything, it just simply sits on top of this, like these rubber pieces on top. And wow, the I/O is actually kind of cool. It's right beside your controller, so all your access will be in one spot. And for the final revision on the I/O, they will add a Type-C connection that will be Gen 2, because it is within the reachable distance to the motherboard to meet that length spec. Also, it is Canadian winter approved because of the radiator fans that sit right on the side there. And if you set the fans to exhaust, they'll be coming right into your body. The total weight supported on this one is 80 kilograms, so it's not an issue populating like an extreme system in there, plus your monitor and all your peripherals and potentially even speakers. So this little tiny desk will accommodate, you know, whatever setup that you might pursue. So this is the new desk from Lian Li, $1,000. No name yet, but will be available in Q4. All right, guys, so that is it for Lian Li. Let us know what you think of the sit-stand desk, and I'm super excited to get my hands on that PC0 Air so that we can do some airflow testing and see exactly how much, you know, better cooling we can get. So make sure to subscribe, check out this other relevant content, and we'll see you in the next video.